Hello, good morning. Let's see if Anthony's awake. Hello. Oh, I forgot to shut the door. Let me go and shut the door. So, this is not a filter. My daughter did my makeup this morning. Shutting the door so I don't wake her up. So yes, me and my daughter, we baked a cake first thing this morning, and after baking the cake, my daughter licked the bowl and she got cake all over her face. So then we went outside and my husband squirted us with the hose to get clean. And after we had a shower, my daughter said we should do matching makeup. So this is how she did her makeup, and I copied. So we were modelling ourselves on Gabby from Toy Story. However, when I went to look at Gabby from Toy Story, she doesn't look at all like this. She wears a yellow dress and she does not have freckles, but whatevs. Bom dia! Eu tô muito boa, Marcelona. E você? I'm not sure. My friend might be popping on to share the live with me and do a bit of a chit chat, so we'll see if she appears. I was trying to share the live with her, but I don't know how you search for people to share the live to. You just have to go through the whole list. That can't be right. Oh, there's my sister. Let me share it with my sister. It's not a chance she'll come on, but why not? Let's see. All right, guys. So today, I'm in a really great mood. Today, I want to talk about doing things for the sake of doing them and enjoying the moment. How often do you do things because you think it's going to bring you some benefit in the future, right? You go to work because you want to earn money to pay for your retirement or to pay your bills. You tidy up your house because you think it will be nice to have a clean environment later. You prepare meals because you don't want to bother with cooking later. Okay, come on then, dog. We spend a lot of our time in the present moment doing things that we think will benefit us in some way in the future, right? My hair's not really greasy, by the way. It's still wet from when my husband squirted me with the shower. So we spend a lot of time focused on doing things that might bring us some benefit in the future, right? And we never truly know if doing those things now in the present moment will bring us a benefit in the future. So we all lived through the pandemic. We all lived through COVID. We had our lives, right? We had our lives just the way we liked them. We were working, we were playing, we were doing what we do. And one day, all of a sudden, all of our freedoms were taken away. Right? We couldn't leave our house anymore. We couldn't see our friends and family anymore. We couldn't go shopping anymore. We couldn't go to the gym anymore. We couldn't enjoy spending time outside anymore. We couldn't have barbecues with our friends anymore. A lot of us couldn't go to work anymore. All of a sudden, everything that we knew was taken away from us. Oh, the travel. I lived in Australia through the pandemic, and they just shut down those airports straight away. As soon as the pandemic started, airports shut. For 2 years. 2 years we could not leave Australia, which is why we left Australia as soon as the airports opened again. Everything that we knew was taken away from us. So all of those things that we had been working on in the past to bring us some future benefit, a lot of them were just wiped out. Pension funds were wiped out, savings were wiped out. My savings were all gone through the pandemic because my husband lost his job. I was on maternity leave, so I couldn't work. we lost all of our savings. Well, not all of them. We lost the rest of them the next year when we got stuck in Brazil. But most of our savings, right? Our lives were ripped out from under us through the pandemic, and we've had to rebuild. But as we're rebuilding, we're making the same mistake again. We're still investing our time and energy in the present moment on doing things that we think will bring future gain. And what we do when we're doing that is we miss out on enjoying the present moment, because we're always focused on the future. We're not enjoying the present moment. And so, of course, there's lots of practices that you can do, meditation, breath work, to bring you into the present moment. But what I want to talk about today is doing things that we enjoy in the present moment, doing things that we enjoy just for the sake of enjoying doing that thing, right? So this morning, like I said, I woke up, I baked a cake with my daughter, I played with the water, the hose, spraying water on them outside after that, and then I got to do my makeup with my daughter. And I did all of those things because they were so enjoyable to me in that present moment. And that's what it's all about. It's all about enjoying the present moment. If you think about it, right, the past is memories, okay? The past is memories. The future hasn't happened yet. We have no idea. The future is a mystery. What's the saying? The past, I can't remember. The past is memories, the future is a mystery, and the present is a gift. I think that's the saying. The present is a gift, and the present is a gift that we don't make the most out of. We very rarely do things just for the sake of enjoying doing them in the present moment. And so that's what I want to bring your attention to today. My friend is supposed to be joining the live because she was going to chat to me. I really want to send the live to her, but I don't know how to do it. Chat to me. I really want to send the live to her, but I don't know how to do it. Today, to talk about all things coaching. I'm just giving myself a like because I had 332. Now we've got 333. Oh, that's strange. Just jumped up. Yes, I really want her to join the live so that we can talk about all things transformation, all things following your dreams, all things finding your purpose. But if she doesn't come, that's okay. We will keep something that you're investing. I'll work on that with you. Oscar, hello. So I was just saying, I was talking today about doing things that we enjoy in the moment. So this morning I woke up, my daughter and son and I baked a cake, a pink cake. My daughter wanted a strawberry cake, so we baked a pink cake, and then my daughter went and licked the bowl and she covered her face in cake. You can go check my Instagram stories. The whole story is there. Anyway, so after she covered her face in cake from licking the bowl, we went outside and my husband was squirting the kids with the hose to clean them off because they were both covered in cake batter. I was trying to hide inside, but he just started squirting the water inside. So he got me. And so then my daughter and I had a shower together, and then she wanted us to do matching makeup. So we did matching makeup. So she's really good at doing makeup. I don't know about her colour combinations, but she made me copies. So we've got pink on the top of the eye, blue on the bottom of the eye, orange lipstick, lots of pink blush was very important, and the freckles. She loves to do freckles. So that is the makeup situation. I promised that I would leave it on, so I'm leaving it on. There we go. I'm just going to look like this the whole day. I don't know if I'm going to go to the gym like this. We'll see. Maybe. Hello from France, the most exceptionally beautiful woman in the world. Oh, thank you so much, Ton Rennie. My favourite Brazilian girl. Hi, Zizoots. I'm an English girl in Brazil, but we'll forgive you. Ronivaldo, hello. How to overcome negative thoughts about everything. It's not depression, but complaining about everything. Excellent. Let's jump into that fantastic question. Negative thoughts and complaining. Okay, so it's your children doing this, not you. Okay, so that makes a difference. Okay, so let's start with this. Firstly, your children don't have a problem. Your children are complaining. Your children are having negative thoughts. They don't have a problem with this. You have a problem with this. You have a problem with your kids complaining. And I know all about this because I used to have a massive problem with my husband's complaining. I was elevating my status, I was embracing positivity, I was cultivating a happy attitude, and my husband was complaining. And you better believe I was complaining about my husband's complaining. Oh yes, I was complaining to anybody that would listen about just how much my husband was complaining. I was telling everybody, yes, or a roommate, Jason, exactly. I was telling everybody how happy I was, how positive I was, and how annoying it was that my husband just would not stop complaining. Do you see the problem? My husband was fine. He loves complaining. He didn't have a problem at all. The only problem he had was that I kept complaining about his complaining. So, Ronivaldo, your children don't have a problem. Your children have a negative attitude. They like to complain. It's you that has the problem. It's stressing everyone. Okay, then it's everyone that has the problem. It's you and everyone that has the problem with your kids complaining and your kids' negative attitude. So take a look, okay? Everybody's stressed. Everybody's annoyed about these complaining kids. Right? Everybody's stressed and annoyed, and everybody's complaining about the complaining kids. You're telling your friends, you're seeking advice, you're investing lots of energy into trying to fix them, trying to make them better, complaining about them, right? Now, what are your kids seeing when that happens? What are your kids seeing? What behaviours are you modelling for your kids in doing this? Yes, Ronivaldo, I will get there. I'm trying to make a point first, but I will get there. So the behaviour that you are modelling for your kids is to not be happy with the current situation, is to try and change and fix the current situation, is to complain about the current situation, right? It's being approached with negativity and complaints. So the behaviour that you are modelling by trying to fix the situation, by complaining about the situation, you are modelling the very behaviour that you want them to stop doing. Okay? And so my husband and I have a little bit of this as well because my kids shout. They shout a lot when they get mad. I'm a very calm, even-tempered person. I mean, I lose my temper sometimes, don't get me wrong, I'm human, occasionally I shout, but generally speaking, I'm pretty calm and even-tempered. My husband, Latin American, he likes to give big reactions, and so sometimes when my kids shout and give a big reaction, he will shout back at them and give a big reaction, and I'll have to say to him, hey dude, look at what you're teaching them to do. You are telling them to stop doing the thing that you are showing them how to do, right? So it could be a similar situation, Ronivaldo. You are telling your kids to stop complaining, and yet you're complaining about them. So it's not what you say, right? It's what you do. Your kids won't do what you say; they'll do what you do. So ignoring can help. Yes, ignoring can help, but it's more about modelling the behaviour that you want to see from them, being the result that you want to see, right? So if you want them to be more positive, in a more positive mood and not complaining, then my suggestion is for you to be in a positive mood and meet their complaints with an upbeat attitude, model the behavior that you want to see. So when they have a problem and they come to you complaining about it, right, don't indulge it. Don't say, oh yeah, poor you, it must be a difficult situation, and don't complain back. Like, oh my God, another problem, really? Like, you're coming to me with another problem? You're always complaining. Just stop complaining. Hang on, this is so loud. Okay, gone. I live right in the middle of my city, so we get these really noisy things come past. Anyway, So how are you meeting? Like, when your kids come to you with a complaint, how are you meeting that? Model the behavior that you want to see. Modulate the behavior and don't complain back. Give him good examples. Exactly. Give him good examples. Do the thing that you want him to do. So when he has a problem, instead of complaining, you don't want him to complain about it, right? You probably want him to go figure it out. So whether he needs to come to, I don't know how old your kid is, maybe he needs to come to you to figure it out, or another parent or guardian, or maybe he's old enough to go figure it out for himself. Model that behavior. And also, not just in your interactions with your kid. Model this behavior all the time, because your kid is always watching. You know what kids' brains are like, right? They're like sponges. They're soaking in all of the information. They're always listening. They're always watching. And here's a really neat little trick as well. Oh, I'm loving talking about parenting. Nobody ever asked me about parenting on here. So not only modeling the behavior with your kid, but also modeling the behavior with other adults, like within your household. Whenever your kid is around and you have a problem, make sure you're approaching it how you want your kid to approach it, right? Don't complain to your partner. Go to your partner and ask, how can I solve this, right? And let your kid hear that. And the other tip that I have that's really great for kids is, because your kids are always watching, they're always listening, talking nicely about your kids when, you know, like when they're in the other room, when they can hear you, but they're not like in the conversation. So if your kid is like watching TV and you're like in the same room, but you know, like they're not paying attention, but they can hear, say something really nice about him to your wife. Be like, oh, you know, he did really good in school today, I'm so proud of him. Or he had a problem today and he didn't complain about it, he just went away and solved it. I'm so proud of how he did that, right? So he can hear. Because when we, like, it's great giving praise directly to our kids, like, always do that, but also giving praise kind of behind their back, but not really. That really gives kids a lot of confidence and really helps them think, I'm taking notes, great. It really helps them think like, oh, I did a really good job. Like, so much so that my dad's like talking to other people about it. You could even like fake a phone call, right? Like if there's not somebody else in the house, you could fake a phone call, just talk really loud and be like, yeah. And he told me what he did at school today. And I was so proud with how he handled that, you know? And then, yeah, like, oh, he's such a great kid. Okay, I'm going to go spend some time with him now. Bye. There doesn't need to be anybody on the other end. It's just about reinforcing that behavior from the kids that we want to see more of. And so if you're able to model that behavior for him, show him how it looks. I've taken off with calling him. You referred to a him, so presumably that's okay. Model that behavior, show him how it looks, show him how to deal with a problem or a negative emotion, and reinforce that by talking about him nicely behind his back, but not really behind his back. So that's my main advice. There was something else I was going to say. Oh yes, with the negative thoughts, right? So your kid is often having negative thoughts or negative actions, just being negative, right? My daughter gets like this sometimes. She, oh bless her, she's learning to self-regulate, but she gets herself into a terrible state sometimes. She gets so stressed out, and it will be nothing, right? Like it will be like, Mama, I want a piece of toast, and I give her a piece of toast and she'll be like, no, I wanted it like just bread. And it's like, well, you asked for toast. And she's like, no, but I wanted bread. And then she will just like freak out and lose her mind, right? Kids do this sometimes. And they're learning. It's a learning process for them. So the most important thing that we can do when kids are having like a negative reaction, a tantrum, or, you know, a big emotions, is to hold space for them, right? Because they're learning, and we're their parents. We're there to support them. We're there to help them. So we hold space for them. And what I mean when I say that is not yelling back at them, not telling them to shut up or go away, or lock themselves in their room, but to just be there, as a parent, right? And you can say like, do you want a hug? Do you want me to come and hold you? Or, you know, if not, do you want some space? In which case I'm just going to be over here. And let them feel their emotions. Kids are actually a lot better at feeling their emotions than adults are. Kids will naturally feel their emotions, particularly under the age of 5 before they start school. Once they get to school, this stuff starts getting taught out of them, which is a real shame. There's a study by NASA into this. It was done in like 1967. NASA wanted to find geniuses, and they discovered that they followed, I think it was like 18,000 kids through like being born up until I think like age 12. And the school system completely changes how kids' brains work. It stops them from being creative. It stops them from being geniuses. And it also stops them from being in touch with their feelings and their emotions. And so that's why a lot of parenting techniques nowadays revolve around like validate the emotion. Like, don't tell your kid they're wrong for having an emotion. Validate it. Right? So whether you're validating the emotion by saying it's okay to be sad, it's okay to feel this way, or whether you're just silently holding space for them, just being there with them. And my son and daughter are very different. So when my daughter's having a tantrum, she wants me to cuddle her. She wants to like feel my arms around her so that she can just feel those feelings and let them out. My son's the other way. He doesn't want me touching him, so I usually just will sit across the room from him, or if he's yelling at me to leave, I'll just like stand outside the door so he knows I'm there but I'm not in his space, because he likes to just like and then he'll stop. So yeah, kids are experts at feeling their emotions, and ideally we don't want to stop them from doing that, because it's very healthy and very emotionally intelligent for us to feel our emotions. As adults, we were taught to push our emotions down. Our parents told us it's not okay to be sad, it's not okay to have a tantrum, just go away and shut up, right? And so as adults, when we get big feelings, what we do is we automatically lock ourselves away or push those feelings down, or we go throw ourselves into work or the gym or drinking to numb the pain. We don't allow ourselves to feel those feelings, and then when we do that, those feelings keep coming back to haunt us, or they limit our behavior, or like they have an effect on us, right? Because we never dealt with them, we never got those feelings out. And so we all are carrying around so much trauma from our childhoods because we just never allowed those feelings out. Like one example is when my father left when I was 5 years old. Hang on, no, it wasn't when he was left. It was when he passed away. So when my father passed away, I didn't get sad about it. I didn't get sad about it. I didn't cry. And I told myself at the time that it was because I was strong. It was because, you know, I was going to be fine. I was independent. I was 23 at the time. I thought I knew everything, right? And it wasn't until much later, like recently, now that I'm 40, that I've been dealing with those emotions from when he passed away, because I'd repressed them. I'd repressed them. So sometimes it's not conscious. Like, I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't not cry on purpose. My body or my conditioning, my past experiences had me bury those feelings subconsciously, because subconsciously I didn't want to deal with them. And I thought I was just being strong, you know, like, oh, look at me, I'm so strong and independent. I didn't cry when my father passed away. but it's healthy to cry when your father passes away. Like, we were really close. And so I had to cry now. Like, now that I realised it, now I cry. And I let the feelings out and I feel them. Why do we never deal with them? Hang on, sorry, I'll just read a couple of these. We're dealing with it now, getting tips to put in practice. Yeah, you're right. Validate, it's a way to teach him about emotions. Yeah, and it's okay to have emotions. It's okay to be sad sometimes. And it's also okay to set boundaries around that. So like I said, my daughter, she's quite dramatic. She gets very sad. She gets very like big reactions about very small things. And so we try to guide her. Like, if it's a small thing, then we'll give her some time to feel her emotions, and then we'll say to her, look, like, try not to get upset about things like this, okay? Because you're allowing having bread that is toasted to derail your whole day. It's okay to be sad about it. Let's be sad, get the feelings out, and move on, right? Whereas when it's a bigger thing, like yesterday at school, her best friend and cousin, my daughter gave her a drawing that she'd done for her. She'd coloured it all in. She was really excited to give it to her, and the girl took it and ripped it in half, and she's like, this is rubbish. And my daughter was really upset. So with that one, I wasn't trying to shut that down in any way. I was just letting her get that out, because like that could be traumatic, like she spent time and effort on creating this thing for her best friend, her cousin, and her cousin, who, by the way, is a little shit, just ripped it up and told her to throw it away. So I didn't want to shut that down. I didn't want to say, like, you can't get sad about that, right? So, okay, like, feel sad, feel your feelings. And she sat in the back of the car crying, like, all the way home, and then as soon as we got home, we started playing and she was fine again. And that's it. She forgot about it. But I've got to put my hair up. It's super cray hot again. Eesh. Always hot here. That's why we love it. No worries, Ronivaldo. Sorry, I keep wanting to say I keep wanting to say your name wrong, basically. So I'm having to catch myself halfway through every time. But I'm loving getting to talk about parenting a little bit, because most of my people here either have grown-up kids or don't have kids yet. Why do we never deal with them? Jason. It is a unique name, yes. What's Ronaldinho? That's what I think I keep trying to say. Jason, why do we never deal with them? Right, it's very natural. It's what we're taught to do. So when we were younger, when we were growing up, our parents... when our parents were growing up, right? Imagine when our parents were growing up, okay? So their parents were boomers, their parents were alive in the war, their parents taught them, like, life is terrible, you just gotta, like, put your head down, get through it, right? Because they lived through the war, right? That's what their lives were like. Head down, get through it, do the best you can with what you've got. Make do and mend. That was the phrase in England. Make do and mend. Just make do with what you've got, mend it, get on with it, right? So these parents taught our parents the same thing. Like, life is tough. Just make do with what you've got. Just get through it, right? And our parents also had... they had a better life, right? There was no war. There was a lot of building. There was a lot of expansion. The world was being recreated after the war. And so our parents had more of an attitude of, okay, so we need to rebuild after the war, but our kids, we want our kids not to have this limitation. We want our kids to be able to achieve whatever they want. So our parents told us, life is hard, make do with what you've got, but also we're rebuilding and you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want. I'm speaking very loosely because I'm aware that I'm speaking to people like in different generations here. Like, I'm a millennial, so I'm kind of referring to like my generational structure. You're going to have to fit yourself in however old you are, whichever generation you are, fit yourself into what I'm saying. So as millennials, we were told, you still got to work hard, because that was our parents' ethos, but you can do anything you want if you work hard. Right, you can do anything you want if you work hard for it. And now the next generation, so parents that are my age, millennials, we are learning that actually we don't need to be limited. We can do anything that we want, and we don't necessarily need to work hard for it. We just need to work in alignment for it, right? We need to be true to ourselves. We need to be authentic. And so that's the message I'm trying to pass down to my kids, is that they just need to be authentic. They need to feel good in their skin. They need to feel good with what they're doing. They need to make choices that make them feel good. They need to connect with their intuition. Like my kids are 4 and 2, and my daughter already refers to her heart. She's like, oh, my heart wants me to do this. My heart wants me to do that. My heart feels this. My heart feels that. That's what she calls her intuition. I didn't teach her that, actually. She kind of taught herself that. But I do ask her, like, you know, what do you want to do today? What does your heart want to do today? And then she'll be like, bake a cake, do crazy makeup, whatever it is. And I'll be like, okay, let's go do that. So that's the message that me and many other parents of my generation are trying to pass down to our kids. You can do whatever you want, and then let it be something that makes you feel good. And I think that was the part that my generation missed out on. It was not about feeling good. It was about making money. It was about doing well for yourself. It was about being successful, right? That's the message I got. Go be successful. My mum loved it when I was in finance, and she did not love it when I opened my own restaurant, because that was too risky for her, right? We are more permissive than our parents. Yes, definitely. Because our parents were brought up with very strict parents, right? Our parents' our grandparents, it was the father was at work, the mother was at home with the kids. The mother potentially had a few kids to be looking after, and she was probably young, right? So she had to rule with an iron fist. She had to keep everybody in line, right? Whereas nowadays, kids go to daycare. A lot of kids go to daycare for most of the days. But that means that both parents are working generally, right? Nowadays, both parents are working. So that means we have an opportunity at the weekends, or when we are spending time with our kids, to actually really enjoy that time and make it quality time together and not sweat the small stuff, because we're not seeing them for a lot of the day. So why are we going to spend the little bit of time that we have with them sweating the small stuff? Not true for me. I have my kids here most of the day. They do go to school for like 4 hours of a day, which is when I do my work and go to the gym, but they're here the rest of the time. Hello, successful, welcome. We're talking about kids at the moment. I think it was like that in our parents' childhood, but I think it changed in our childhood. Well, it did for me. Yeah, Jason, like that's what I was saying about the generations. So like I'm 15 years older than you. So I'm in a different generation. So by the definitions I was giving, like you're in the generation below me. I forget what they're called. I'm a millennial. What's the next one? Gen X came after millennials, and now we're on Gen Z. Was there a Gen Y? What generation are you, Jason? What do you consider yourself? Which generation? Gen Z. Okay, you're Gen Z. Is there a Gen Y? Does anyone know? Because I know, like, my kids are Generation Alpha. And I think they're both alpha. I think my son's like on the edge of alpha beta. Gen X is the 60s. Hang on, what? Before millennials, Gen Z. Okay, so all the like teens and 20s at the moment are Gen Z. And Gen X was before the millennials. So it went boomers and then X and then millennials and then Z. Is there a Gen Y though? So there's not. What generation are you, Oscar? Gen Z. You're Gen Z, right? Oh, this is interesting. I've looked it up a couple of times. Gen Z says 1997 to 2012. Yeah, you're Gen Z as well. 1997. So it's not a very big gap. Gen X is 1965. Well, I have learned something new today. I thought all of the Gen XYZ came after millennials. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, so everything that I was talking about, you have to like figure out where you are in the generations. I was born in 1976. What gen am I? So that would put you at Gen X, Ronivaldo. Gen X, 1965 to 1980. And like, it depends where you look as well, because it changes. Like, different websites have different answers to this question, because I am a millennial. However, like, sometimes I'm right on the cusp, because some places say millennials start in 1980 and some say that it starts at 1984, and I was born in 1984. So I'm like either just a millennial or I'm like a millennial. But like, millennials is a really big gap. So it's like 1980 or 1984, depending on where you look, all the way up to... Jason, millennials is 1981 to 1996. Is that all? I thought millennials went up to like the 2000s. Can you just put them all in here for me, please? Oh, is this the missing Gen Y then? So maybe Gen Y is 1997 to... No, that's Gen Z. So there is no Gen Y. There's no Gen Y. Okay, so I think we've got it all sorted. Gen X starts... Gen X starts 1997. No, Gen Z. Gen Z, Jason. Come on, now you're trying to confuse me. Gen Z starts 1997 to 2012. You wrote it before. Gen X was 1965 to 1980. Yes, I am English, Louise. Louise Bittencourt. That sounds like an English name. Hi, Israel. Okay, guys, we are just having a bit of banter about the generations here. Jason, you're getting all types of confused now. Or maybe you're just getting me all types of confused. Anyway, the point is, however we want to see our kids act in that way, and they will. That's it. Like, for example, I wanted my daughter to say thank you when she feels thankful. And so I don't pressure her to say thank you. Like, you know, when somebody gives her something, she's like, oh, thanks. I'm not like, say thank you, knowing that she didn't want it. I model behavior. So when I'm thankful for something, when somebody gives me something, I show thanks for it. Thank you, right? And I let her see me do that. I'm modeling behavior. Right, hang on, I got to get this dog down. As usual, she comes up, makes me all sweaty. She was also in the hose this morning getting squirted, weren't you, Rabs? So you look really bedraggled. Luckily she's going to the groomers next week. Look at the state of this dog. You're playing in the hose, Rabbit. Yeah, we had a great time, didn't we? Right, on the floor now because it's hot. Little hot pocket. It's 11:44 already. Oh, I've got to go soon. That went really fast. You have a cute poodle too, but white. My husband used to have a white one, so I've got a black one and a brown one. And my husband used to have a white one, but the ex-girlfriend took it. So she's here somewhere in the city because I said we should get it back. Like, imagine having a brown one, a black one and a white one would be so cute. But he said his ex is really crazy, so he's not going to ask for it back. It's a shame. Right, do we have any more coaching questions? We've got 10 more minutes. I don't know where today just went. I'm having such a ball. We love films. Hello again. Living in Brazil for about 5 years, more or less. Have you ever tasted feijoada? Yes, many times. It's feijoada. It's usually available at family lunches, which we do fairly often. There will usually be feijoada there. I like it. Can you talk about where do you live? I live in Goiás, so I'm about I'm just outside of Brasilia, the capital, in Goiás, in farmland, Brazil. How do you cope with such high temperatures every day? I wear small clothes, very small clothes. That's why you always see me in tank tops. And I like the heat. I don't mind being too hot. I think my husband has the fan. He's sleeping in the bedroom. So we have a fan. He usually has that on him to stay cool. I just don't mind getting hot. I like it. I think it's because I'm from England. Getting hot for me is still a really cool thing. It feels like I'm on holiday. A pasta. No. How about Northeast food like couscous? Yes, I tried. So for me, couscous is Middle Eastern. I used to own a Middle Eastern restaurant. So we had couscous dishes there. So I'm very familiar with couscous. However, what I had never tried before I got to Brazil is chocolate couscous. OMG. So a new couscous place just opened where I live, and they have chocolate couscous. So it's got Nutella in the middle, and then couscous, and then chocolate sauce over the top, and I think there's some strawberries or bananas. OMG, that shiz is delicious. I don't know if you have chocolate couscous in the Northeast, but my gosh, we do not have that in England. We barely even have sweet pizzas in England. Brazil does sweet pizzas so well, chocolate, white chocolate and Nino, or chocolate and strawberry pizzas. Oh my God, so good. England, that's not really a thing. You can probably find one in London if you went looking, but it's not common. I really love sweet food. Make any savoury food sweet and I will be eating it. Chocolate couscous, never grabbed it. You should try. Hola, buenas tardes. Oh, look, some Spanish I understand. In Croatia, it's 30 Celsius. Yeah, I think it's 32 here today. It's hot today. Right, this one got blocked. I don't know why. I don't understand it. We don't have that. Well, you don't have the chocolate couscous. Oh, hello. Thank you for my little hat. We love films. Appreciated. WT Panda. It's the first one. CUS. In English, anyway. And yeah, in Brazilian, it's CUS. Everywhere spells it different. We have milk with couscous. We pour the milk above the couscous and it's yummy. Yeah, that sounds like it would be good too. Yep, British accent, that's me. You really look like Princess Leonor from Spain. Oh, I will have to have a look at her. Does she have freckles? Like my beautiful freckles today? My daughter and I were playing at makeup this morning. That's why I look like a rag doll. Jason, I reached out to the job I'm waiting to hear back from. Cool. They said they'll have a decision by the end of next week, so I'm not cranky Cathy anymore. Well done. So now just put it out of your mind until the end of next week, and you know that whatever happens is for your highest and best good. If you get the job, it means it's a good job for you. If you don't get the job, it means there's a better job for you. That's it. We can choose how we look at things, right? We can choose the thing that makes you happy. Do you like Bali, Indonesia? I love Bali, Indonesia. Oh my God, guys, I didn't tell you. Guys. Blair Waldorf, you're back. You've seen me before. I think you may have asked me that before. No, also English. Guys. So, I did a presentation on Tuesday to investors about Universal, right? My retreats. And I had a meeting yesterday with somebody who wants to partner with me to run the retreats. So I don't think it's the real Blair Waldorf, Jason. Like the real Billy Hargrove that I fell for before. So he owns a hotel in India, and he sent me the website for his hotel. It looks beautiful. And he already has people there doing yoga, meditation, breath work. They organize excursions. He said there's lots of like mountain trekking around there. And he wants me to host a universal retreat at his hotel in India. I've always wanted to go to India. I've never been. And I have a lot of Indian friends that go there every year. And so I'm going to pull this together. A retreat in India. I don't know when yet, because I want to try and tie it in. So one of my clients is already going to India in July, and one of my clients is already going to India in August. So I'm thinking maybe around the end of July, beginning of August, so that I can hold it while they're already there. And if anybody else has ever wanted to go to India or is traveling to India and would like to take part in the retreat, please let me know. You can contact me through my community. You can just send me a DM. The link is in my bio, so just join the community and you can send me a DM there. Let me know if you want to go to India, if you have plans already to go to India and you want to experience a retreat there. So it's going to be 5 days, 5 like immersive, all inclusive, everything's going to be covered, immersive retreat, right? So it's the same idea as what I wanted to do in Caraïva, but will be in India. Like, I'm so excited. This hotel looks amazing. Canada is basically almost India. I'm a coach, Ronivaldo. So I do this. Generally less chatting, more coaching, but this is what I do. So I do this one-on-one. I do this in a group coaching setting. We're having our first group coaching session on Saturday. It's fully booked now. However, I will be running one next month. So if you want to get a spot for the group coaching session next month, I run these free of charge. All you have to do is join my community and create an introduction post in the introduce yourself section. That's how I choose people for the group coaching session. So tomorrow it's already full, but I will be holding one next month. Hi, Anthony. So Anthony, I was just saying I had a meeting yesterday with a guy who owns a hotel in India, and he wants to partner with me on hosting universal retreats in India. And I'm so excited. I've always wanted to go to India. I have loads of friends, Indian friends, that already go to India. So I don't know the timing yet. I'm going to try and pull it together when I have clients or friends, same, that are there already, so that they're not having to double up on flights. But I'm really excited about this. The hotel looks amazing. You know how Indians love to like just really go all out on the glam? Did you guys see that Indian wedding they had like 3 weeks ago? And it wasn't even the wedding, I think it was like the pre-wedding. Like Rihanna sung at it. There was like millions of people there. Like, Indians go big with stuff. And so I'm so excited. This, like, it's going to be great. Anyway, so I'm thinking maybe end of July, beginning of August, but we'll see. Yeah, you saw the wedding. It was impossible to ignore it. What about the one I want here? I still want one here. The thing is with here is that I have to build it. And this guy already has a hotel. So he wants to partner with me to do it, right? So I'm still going to build the retreat here. I'm still looking for investors to build the retreat here. But it's not going to be ready to go for like at least 6 months after I get the money, right? So could be 6 months, could be a year, could be 2 years. I don't know when I'm going to find an investor for my one here. That's what that is. However, whenever I move to the beach, which hopefully is still going to be in July, I will start organising retreats in Brazil as well. But the thing for me about India is that most of my friends live in the UK or Australia or the US. My clients are all in the US at the moment. All of my clients are in the US. I don't know why that is. But anyway, Brazil is a long way for everybody to go. And 2 of my clients are of Indian descent and already have trips planned to India. So it's not a long way for them to go because they're already going, right? And so I think that's why I struggled last time with getting people onto the retreat in Brazil, was because Brazil, like, people are not coming here already. People don't have family here. Unless you already live in Brazil, it's kind of difficult to get to Brazil from Australia, from the UK. Like, it's at least 2 flights, and from the US, at least 2 flights, maybe 3 flights, like 24 to 36 hours travel. So I get it. People don't want to do that. Whereas at least with India, people are already going, right? So that's the news. I'm excited. It's an opportunity. I always say yes to an opportunity. I will follow it through. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm a yes person. If it feels good, I will say yes. So we'll see what happens. I also don't get attached to the outcomes. Kinda. All right. We are at the end of our time together. Israel now, il now ensigna, is that the word for teach? Ensigna. Il now ensigna inglês, if that's the right word. Eu sou inglesa, eu falo inglês. Hi, Sebastian. Woo, just caught that. Right, yes, okay. So, Oscar, I will see you tomorrow. I'm so excited. I can't wait for our group coaching call. I probably won't go live tomorrow because I'll be doing my group coaching call. If I'm around at the weekend, I will hop on. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Monday. Thank you for being here. I cannot believe how fast today went. That was crazy. I will see you guys. Oscar, I'll see you tomorrow. Everybody else, I'll see you by Monday.